This episode contains language that is not suitable for minors. Please enjoy responsibly. And now, today's episode. Hello and welcome to The Beatdown. This is Season 3, our first episode for Season 3. Or if you're keeping track, it's episode 46. I'm your host, Tony, and here with me today is John Rosso. And we are very excited to have with us our special guest today to kick off our third season, Brian and Frank from Fun Lovin Criminals. They've got it. Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you, Fast here, Frank. Respect.
Thank you. I should mention, so not only is this the start of the third season for the Beatdown podcast, but this is our first broadcast on Radio Free Brooklyn. We are doing it actually. This will be broadcast on Friday night when you guys are playing it elsewhere in Brooklyn. So there's a lot of Brooklyn ties. Radio Free Brooklyn. You guys are from Brooklyn and you're playing in Brooklyn. So if it's 7 o'clock right now in Brooklyn, and you guys are going on, what, about 9 o'clock?
Yeah, so, 9 o'clock. Doors are at 7:30. So pretty soon, the party starts.
So head on over, get some beers in you, and the fun starts at 9. So that's where we're starting. The band is back. In touring for the first time in a while. They got a nice stretch of shows starting up in Boston on last night, I guess would be when we're broadcasting this.
Yes.
New York tonight, and then you go down the East Coast a little, right? You get to like DC, right? Looks like you're doing city wineries.
Yeah, and, well, you'll see. It's like, just look at the comments from last night. Everyone went nuts in Boston.
I bet.
Out show. We had about 1,900 people that moved us up, and great show. We're hoping elsewhere will be similar tonight.
That was so great. They moved it to a bigger venue. Yeah, it was fantastic.
And you're going to be in Philly on Monday, potentially World Series town. If they continue, they could close it out by Monday, and then the city will be going nuts.
Well, that's Philly. Philly fanatic on the guest list for our show again.
That's excellent.
So that's the thing. Yeah.
Bryce Harper apparently is now winning the governor election of Pennsylvania too. He's
he's sweeping it
right in. He's a write-in. So
listen, we live in the UK now, so it's like you got to talk about Tories and Labours and all that stuff.
Do you follow football there? Premier League or anything?
Frank does. Frank's got his team he supports.
Oh, nice.
The Leicester Massive. Yeah.
All right. Shout out to them. Hey, I like, in the States here, they finally got Premier League on Sunday mornings. And so we're,
they show that on TV. Over there.
Finally, yeah.
It's a great game. It is a beautiful game, football.
And then World Cup this year is late, so it's going to be coming up in November.
That's right. A few weeks' time it starts.
Later in November, yeah. That's cool to check out.
That's why November's a big month, with the World Cup for the sports fans, with Sylvester Stallone's new show called Tulsa King. This whole tour for us in the U.S. is we're supporting the Stallone family empire, really.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
Singer-songwriter Frank and all the history and things he's done to inspire Fun Lovin Criminals, as well as Sly, he's inspired us all. You know what I mean?
What's your favorite Frank Stallone song? Come on. What's the killer for you?
Take You Back is a big one for me.
Take You Back. Anything from...
I like the standards when he does his Frank Sinatra. The guy's released so much music over the years. I don't even have to say Staying Alive. I got the 7-inch. We just love the vibe of that family, and it seems cool. And Sylvester Stallone, he's like the Mother Teresa of action films. You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. It's good to see him getting back in there and getting a regular slot, right?
Yeah, enough about Sly, but bless the Stallone.
Yeah. Let's talk about your new EP is great. I really like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would say we're going to get into some to your catalog and all, but if you didn't know that there was a change in the lineup, or that there was some time between the last thing, you wouldn't know there's any difference. The music is great. The vibe sounds great. One of my, those just 4 songs. It's a good tease. I can't wait to have the full LP come out.
We're working on that. What we might do is to do a bunch of these EPs.
Yeah.
We're thinking of doing that, and then maybe at some point we might do some cool artwork or release all of the EPs on like a double vinyl, or we're knocking some ideas around at the minute. We're not trying to pigeonhole oh, let's do a 14 track album next. We kind of like the idea of putting out these little snippets out of mine and Fat Mine.
Yeah, that's how people consume now. Yeah, you got a 7-inch box.
No one's got time to sit down and listen to a 14 track album. The world don't really work like that anymore. So
it's called the Roosevelt Sessions. It just came out in September. What's the meaning behind the name of the collection?
Well, we were basically, over the years, we're writing songs, writing beats, and putting them in our little vault. You know, Prince had his vault of music. We have our little FLC vault. And there was always a series of songs that were these sort of very jazz-inspired, like New York City, Smoky Street, hip-hop, jazz, but just beats in general, and the vibe of the Roosevelt Sessions. So we did some work in a couple studios in New York, kind of on the DL, and working with our friend Tim Latham. And these 4 songs came about really quickly. So we pretty much finished them up and released them in the course of 10 days because we felt it was really important to get some new music out to the fans, to show them that, you know, the band's still alive. The band is an idea, regardless of who is the lineup, really, who is the singer and stuff, but it's like more about the music for us. So that's what we're concentrating on. And this EP is just something we're really proud of. So
can I ask, did COVID and the lockdown and that kind of thing motivate you or inspire you to get back into, you know,
it helped events happen that led us to where we are today.
Yeah.
But, I would, if I could, you know, go back, I'd say wish it didn't happen, but it
sure.
did. So,
right.
I don't think that definitely didn't have any slant on the lyrics to the storytelling on these 4 songs has nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? It was more to try and bring about that laid back lounge story vibe that we've always had. But,
right.
And then there's a track on there, Shake It Loose, which is one of my particular favorites.
Yep.
That we'll be playing live tonight elsewhere. But
right now, probably.
Any minute now. But that song was me and Fast trying to clear some cobwebs out of our system. Let's put it like that. You know,
can I say without
in our closet?
Yeah, I could tell in the lyrics, and I again, I don't want to touch the third rail here, but did that have to do with the, you know, previous lineup and the previous? Is there any?
Always been the band has a long history of having ups and downs and lineup changes and stuff. Obviously, this is a big one, but as far as songs being specific about one thing, that's something with our band. We love the storytelling, but we also love the people to be able to make up their own idea about what a song actually means.
Yeah.
You don't even know. So that's something that we really appreciate, you know, when we're writing stuff.
It's cool that you noticed it, though. I mean, that whole line, you know, shake that monkey off your back, you can take it however you want, but you can, you know, I'm sure we all have problems, and it doesn't matter who the problem is. It wouldn't be a problem if you shook that fucking problem off your back. Do you know what I mean? So
Totally.
That's really where that kind of like that storytelling in that song came about, man.
I went through your entire catalog over the past couple of weeks. I did my homework. And I really went through all the stuff. I didn't go through the extended versions of your album, but I went through all the albums, and because I wanted to really get a sense of your stuff. And you do have a few songs that are referencing, you know, trying to reach out to someone who has a problem, whether it's drugs or alcohol. You know, there are songs, and that's why, like, when Shake It Loose, you know, it goes to my comment about you wouldn't know that this EP, that there's been a difference in that there was any time lapse or a difference. It sounds great. It fits right in your catalog. A standout song to me is Village Groove. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that kind of.
That's a great track, because that, to start with, that for me, there's a couple of reasons that make that song great. One is it's not really our vibe, I suppose. It's not an out-and-out Fun Lovin Criminals song. It's very much, I would say, leans on more of the singer-songwriter side of things.
Or us doing a Beck song.
Yeah,
sounds like Beck.
But what was good was, one, hearing Fast actually sing that.
Yeah.
Because Yes, I know. Over the years, we spit, we can rap, and we do that. Brooklyn, I do bring the kind of English vibe to my rap and what have you. And with Huey, obviously, he raps and stuff. But out and out singing in Fun Lovin Criminal repertoire isn't really there. So
it is, though, because I went through the entire catalog. I'm telling you, you have songs like that.
There's courses, but it's always kind of.
Yeah, and we wanted to tip our hat as well to the cat who lives in New York. I think he lives in Brooklyn. I'm not 100% sure. Goes by the name of James Maddox. Great singer-songwriter. Works a lot with Bruce Springsteen and stuff like that. And, we sent that track to him and said, you have any ideas? And he come with the Village Groove lick.
Oh, nice.
And then we knocked it about a bit and we made it more Fun Lovin Criminal. So there's a couple of reasons why I particularly like that. One, it's the first time he sang proper singing, and taking the lead role. And it was great because I engineered that one with him in the studio. So I was sat beside of him and he nailed it. So that made me super happy. The other reason is James Maddox, who's a really cool dude who lives in the city. So he just brought a little bit of New York to us because we've not been here for a while.
We haven't been here for a while, so we wanted to get some inspiration about what's going on. He's great. He helps.
Manhattan has changed.
Well, let me bring you back because I have some questions because I seeing the band's history where you first started the Limelight, which is definitely a club that I've forgotten a few nights at.
Me too. Really during the first half of the 90s.
I remember. I saw a couple great shows there. I saw Gary Glitter there. I saw Tom Jones there. It was
Tom Jones was.
I saw a band called Fudge Tunnel there. They were really heavy.
Fudge Tunnel, nice.
And I saw Henry Rollins there.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
On a Sunday night, I think it was. Flag. No, this was when he was solo in the 90s. Yeah.
Sunday night, rock and roll church.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I remember Pearl Jam played there. It was grunge bands played there on some of the times.
Things there. Even, Andrew Dice Clay did a gig.
Oh, fucking awesome!
I'm trying to name all the ones he likes. I'm
sure. Okay.
Frank Stallone probably played there.
So can you just talk a little bit about you guys at the time, all three members were working at Limelight when you guys met there? And
Huey and I were working at Limelight. The original drummer Steve was working at HMV. He didn't want to work at Limelight.
Oh yeah, the radio and record store. Yep.
And for the first few years we were working there and playing shows when other bands canceled. So they said, Fun Lovin Criminals, you want to go play? And we'd show up with a DAT tape. And we were sort of more hip-hop then. But then we started picking up the instruments and got the record deal. And one thing led to the other. And, it's just amazing that we're still friends. A lot of our friends from the Limelight will be coming to the show tonight.
Oh, awesome.
So it's always great to see them. They were great clubs that I don't think New York could have clubs like that anymore.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of in the neck of the woods tonight, where things pop up that you don't know about. So
the younger kids got cool places.
While the show has to, I think it has they have a 10:30 live curfew. There's definitely stuff to go around. Yeah,
it's not 2 a.m. at Webster Hall or the Ritz.
5 a.m.
I remember those days. I used to love doing gigs. We supported a bunch of bands early on in New York that came through, Big Audio Dynamite and the Happy Mondays.
Oh wow!
In the mid '90s, but
what other clubs were you guys playing at? Before you got signed?
Before we got signed,
or around the time you were starting out.
Slam was a big one. We played at a bit. But it was pretty much just Limelight, Mercury Lounge.
Yeah. Okay.
Deal and stuff. But we did CBGB's probably a few years before it closed, obviously. It closed not that long ago. But we've done our fair share of New York places.
Yeah. But you got you got signed pretty quickly. It seems like you were doing it was right place, right time.
2 years, 6 shows over 2 years. And then, in your cliche style, the CEO, David Segerson from EMI, came up with a card, was like, let's make a record. It was great because everything about him and what he was doing at the time with EMI was different. And that's what we liked about it. So that all went, so quick. And, the resulting 6-7 years was the like joy of just touring, playing our music around the world, Then you start getting lawsuits and record labels dropping it. And then, things change. But it's a good education as well.
That's what the beatdown is about, though. Like those stories, I want to hear some of that stuff because I love hearing about I'm
great.
Yeah,
got a great one for you. So we're traveling. We're in Belgium, and we're on a tour bus, and we just played a show.
Roughly what year is this?
Probably going back about 10 years,
okay.
11 years.
Classic, fantastic.
Yeah, and we're out there and we're touring and we play a festival and we're traveling to the next town, and all of a sudden the bus pulls over and comes to a stop, and we can hear some commotion downstairs. The side of the tour bus doors open. We can hear our tour manager's voice getting louder and louder, and we can feel, what the hell's going on? And we look out the window and there's about 6 cop cars and flashing lights, and they want all 3 members of Fun Lovin Criminals to step out the tour bus.
Oh, no way.
So we step out, and we got slapped right there on the side of the freeway with a lawsuit because the previous year we didn't get on a plane, is that right? And we didn't fly.
Every now and then, certain specifics of a contract can be interpreted different ways. To us, business premium economy is not business class. Their argument was there is only economy and like premium and first class. Well, we'll take first class. They said
you go up.
Yeah.
Get down.
They wanted us out the side emergency exit. So we were like, ain't coming to Belgium, which is like a 3-hour drive. But then 6 years later, we did a concert for them. So there's always those times. You never win. The lawyers always win. We've done enough lawsuits. So for us now, it's like, we're happy we're doing this so many years later. We're happy that we've got people who believe in us, like our agency. Mike Hayes at APA here.
Steve Allen.
Yeah, Steve Hallam in the UK. And Peter de Klerk in the EU. People that like were the rivals of the people we used to work with who didn't want to work with us.
Yeah.
Who didn't want to work with us a year ago. They're like, listen, give us a chance now. And they've all like come through as shining colors.
Well, also the main thing really why they've come through is because they love our music and they like us as people.
Nice.
And then it's no bullshit. We just want to play for the fans. We want to play our music. And they're the people that we're now working with that believe what we do, which is that, for any band up and coming, that's all you want to do is work with people that believe in you, not people that, just see you as a cash cow,
And they're getting paid. So
yeah.
There's that too.
Yeah.
Frank, can I ask you, so you were probably a fan. You worked for the other drummer and then took over, right? So what is it like from your perspective
Years before that, though, Frank and I were friends.
Oh, you knew him for years. Yeah.
I met Fast backstage at an English gig, quite a famous rock club in Nottingham in the UK called Rock City. And I used to work there handing out, the flyers for what bands were going to be playing. And I went backstage and met Fast because I was a fan. And we just swapped numbers, swapped emails, and then we stayed tight. And then I was playing in a band in the UK called Baby Genius, and we came over to Quad Studios in New York to make a record. And Fast was in there making a record with Criminals, and we kind of played a little bit on each other's records. And then the next thing I know is that at the time, Mackie, who's a great drummer, fucking awesome drummer, he said to me, I haven't got a drum tech and I've got 3 shows coming up in Europe. I know you're not a drum tech, but I love how you tune your drums. Would you come and do my kit for me? And I said, yeah, all right, cool. I said, I'm not a tech, but I'll give it a go. You know what I mean? So I did that. And then after them 3 shows, the guys rang up and said, we want you to join the band.
Oh, man.
We want you to lose your mind and get mentally disturbed over the next 17 years.
Nice.
That's how that came about, really. But yeah, I met Fast first, and me and Fast have been friends since that night, really.
Cool.
That's great. I was going to say that it's like the band was a very quickly a hit and much bigger in the UK, right? That must have been exciting. Certainly, I from a New Yorker point of view, it's always like we're going to go and we're going to be big in the UK and we're going to be big in Europe. So it must have been exciting that happening that way.
The late 90s was great, 2000s was great, but then what was good about that was that laid the foundation through the support from the major label, who will be paying back the rest of our lives. But the point is now we can go back and kind of pick and choose, have the luxury to pick and choose areas. Let's go spend a couple weeks there and tour, and the fans come out and they're older and they're crazier, just like we are, and we're all celebrating our little thing that we do. And whether it's 50 people in a venue or a couple thousand or a big festival, we give them every day.
I know. I saw videos online. I mean, you guys played.
The Polish one was badass. That's like the great unknown.
That is awesome. Tell us about that. So this is what kind of festival is it? Like a 3-day thing, multi-day?
Again, they're a result of the change. Once we had the lineup change and things changed, no one was really working with us. Everyone was confused. We weren't. We knew exactly what was happening. We just needed that one fish to, bite on the lure and stuff. And then all of a sudden, these Polish guys got in touch. They're like, "Oh, do you want to play a show in Poland?" We're like, "How close to the Ukraine border?" And they're like, "Not close at all." Cool. And it was like for 6 months later. So it was just one of the best festivals. It's run by the Ryan Seacrest of Poland. This guy, he's a great guy.
I bet. Yeah.
Cooler than Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, he's probably way cooler.
If you made Ryan Seacrest a character in that show MASH, then
Radar.
Well, would he be Radar, or would he be like what are the other?
Alan Alda, the other one.
BJ Honeycutt.
But it was a great festival, and everyone who works at the festival does it for free. So it's all volunteers. It's free to get in, and like out of nowhere, 100,000 people. The band ends, and they know in 20 minutes is the next band. They either all go and get a drink, which there's only beer and wine. There's no spirits, so people are getting hammered. And then they come back, watch the band, and it was a great festival. It took us by surprise at how professional it was.
Was it in Warsaw or what town?
It was the northwest of the country, near a town with a bunch of S's and C's and Z's next to it. FCZINESCZ.
Yeah, a lot of extra consonant.
We played shows anywhere, and we'll play on the beach in Maui. We've done that. We've done shows. Yeah. So as long as we can play our music, that's all we want to do.
That's incredible that you were playing, like you said, in Poland during this nonsense that's going on over in Ukraine with a full-on war going.
It's a big country, so it's we were safe distance and all that, but it was wasn't even about that. It was like we needed to play music. These people hadn't had their shows
I bet.
years, so we need to take advantage of that and play as long as we can. It seems like everything's going all right. No one's, it's not as bad as it was, so we're happy we're here. We were yesterday a bit surprised, or a couple of days ago when we got here, surprised saying, this is great. We're here in New York. Yesterday we were walking in Brooklyn Heights and on the promenade, and it was the first time some of our crew had seen the skyline from down there. So it's been a big day for us yesterday.
But you're saying the big souvenir is getting the Yankee hats, though, right? Is that the whole cruise?
Yeah. Everyone's happy with that. They got some form of hat. That dude's happy today. He made like $140 off
it. And then in Brooklyn,
on Fulton Street,
they love the Frank. I walk down there, it's like, I'm Jesus Christ. They come running out.
You're not Jesus, but
they're like, Frank. I go in.
You're welcoming. Yeah, that's great.
I spend money when I go in the sports shop. I walk out with 5 pairs of kicks in every shop I go. I've got kicks all up in this hotel.
But this is the thing, when Frank visits New York, he always disappears for like a day and a half. We never know what he gets up to. This is over the past 25, 30 years. And now we found out that like he's got his own little operations going on. So like if you go walk down Canal Street with him, say, right near the bridge on you know what I'm saying? Then the people come out like and just hand him envelopes. Like a little Chinese dude will walk out of Wohop, hand him an envelope, and just walk away. And Frank just puts it in his pocket. I'm like, what the hell's that? He's like, that's not.
Better not tell you.
But wait till you get over towards the Holland Tunnel. The guy's got like a whole bag, like he's a postman full of envelopes.
Right. It's a bit overdue, Frank, but I collected it, and everything's cool, right? Everything's cool, man. Right
I'll
here.
be coming for it after the show.
No, he walks up to him with the phones and stuff, and just gets the payment. Like,
I know, because on your songs, you're always talking about making your Vic, and you're like,
you got to. And that's the thing. The good thing about this whole new FLC, if you will, is that Frank and I actually said we want to be 100% involved on it. We always were like 100%, but that was really 90% because we did have management and stuff, and we sort of realized we had to do all this ourselves now. But it's good because now we know how to do it, and now we know how to get someone to help us do it that we can actually trust will do it the way we want it done.
I could see Frank being the Peter Grant. Coming in with a stick.
I will crack some eggs if I ain't even bothered. Yeah,
but he plays it well. He'll tell everyone at like a dinner. He'll be like, "All right, that's $40 for everyone." Everyone puts it in, and at the last second, he has a 20. But under that 20 is a $5 bill, so he shows everyone see the 20, and then he takes the 20. Did it tonight.
And he makes change.
So Tuesday, Taco Fridays. Taco Fridays.
Now I know why he's in the band. He's the collector.
He is the drummer. He is the collector.
So you're gonna settle with things at the club tonight and make sure everybody's.
Settlements.
I counted the door. I got my guy count.
Me and my cricket bat do the same.
No, he's got a direct line. He's got his own clicker too. Yeah, your own count right there at the front house.
I don't know. It feels a little light.
He goes and he's checking the lines on all the bottles of booze. Hey, look at this. You only charged. I know you sold that whole bottle. That's water. Yeah.
Some of these shows we got to smuggle the bottles in because they don't really let you
have the bottles.
And these early times, tonight's I think an all ages show too.
That's fine. They got their club going on, and to be honest, we had to drive down to DC.
Yeah.
After the show, so that's a few hours down there, because we know if we stay in New York or Brooklyn tonight,
it's gonna be trouble.
We can't do that. This tour, we actually have to get through all 11 shows in the 20 days and not cancel everyone like we usually do.
Oh no. I also want to mention that Fast. We can't gloss over the fact that you're a multi-instrumentalist. And when you I'm watching these videos of you playing live, and it's just like you're playing keyboards, you're playing bass, you're getting the horn out, you're getting the harmonica out, and now you're taking on lead vocals. I mean, you are the utility man.
I am. I'm like the R2D2 of Fun Lovin Criminals.
Yeah, that's true, because he never shuts the fuck up.
And Chewbacca over here does his thing. It's like the Lando Calrissian of Fun Lovin. So, yeah, it's great. We're lucky.
No, you're a great musician, and some of the horn lines I picked up on the songs that I loved. And it's like, they're just coming in there when they need to be and drifting.
I always like the
I love that
style of flugelhorns and stuff, not overplaying. And Chet Baker's music, how the trumpet comes when it comes and flugelhorn comes and goes. So
less is more. Less is more.
Yes.
That was the important thing with this EP, and more of the music we're working now, which we hope to release. Every few months, get some tunes out. Is in the similar vein, but we're exploring all the different styles of stuff, and we try to keep everything according to the FLC formula. So
yeah. So I want to say, I know your first album, Come Find Yourself, you have the big song on there, but to me, Smoke 'Em, I love that song. It's got such a nice vibe.
If you're coming tonight to the show, then you'll hear that one. We love playing that too. That's good. And it just sucks that we can't smoke in any of the places anymore. So
that's the New York.
It's everywhere.
But pot is legal everywhere. That's trade-off.
We've had a good week on that one. That's all we'll say about that. God bless New York.
What you guys will appreciate is, so they haven't figured out the rules for all of the dispensaries yet. Every place is a dispensary.
It's a free-for-all. Every deli we did today, they were selling us bug-riddled cereals and then a feed that was, all right, acceptable.
But it's old school. Do you remember? Back in the day, you knew the bodegas. You'd go in. It's like, boy, how come they only sell lighters and Oreos here?
Or
and then
incense. There's a lot of incense, and there's a Bob Marley poster. You lift up the two we went to. We're down the Lower East Side. Well, not Lower East Side, but Houston and 2nd Avenue ish. That were cultural boutique, which was like
it just fucking says it right there,
and it had like the Bob Marley picture frame that you move it, and there's like a little hand that it grabs your money and gives you little bags. And around the corner was Nazareth, which is a huge place with just incense, a couple CDs, and then that's about it. Like 3 CDs.
I want to also talk about you have a song called 10th Street. I wonder what you were getting there. I remember that, right? This you got to drive over to 10th Street.
That's New York as well. So
yeah,
that's the thing we love about the stories that we've been telling over 30 years, and obviously living in the UK makes it a bit harder, but there is similar things to, no matter where you live. So it's not hard for us to do it. And that's what James Maddock helped us kind of jumpstart and go, oh yeah, we got this. We got a lot of stories to tell because we've been here many times over the years, and I lived here for so many years. So.
You just need your mind jolting sometimes when you live this kind of life. You sometimes forget, and then you have a little jolt and 10 stories will pop up in your mind of a night that you had in New York or a night that you had in Brooklyn, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's tell that story. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just need a little jolt because you forget a lot of stuff, don't you, when you're on the road?
Always.
When you're drinking and when you...
I don't remember the 90s. I just don't remember that decade.
You guys had to be on the road the whole time too. You probably, it's like once you guys got going, you must have been like, that must have been a whirlwind for at least a couple of years.
Yeah. We ain't stopped touring for decades. We never stopped.
No, the pandemic tried to stop us, but it just delayed it for a bit. But we've been very fortunate. But now, Frank and I have the opportunity to actually try and get shows in places we never really could do for budgetary reasons or timing. Places like South America and parts of Asia, Australia, we haven't been to in years. And we know there's FLC fans in all these shows. The States has proven to us, all right, we can get people out to these shows. So, we're just looking forward to doing as many as we can over the next year or so.
And your shows in Europe that you just played.
Yeah.
How was the reception there, and how was that?
Yeah, they all sold out. They were fantastic. The fans
nice.
were brilliant. The venues were brilliant. Everybody that worked on them shows were brilliant. I mean, that was quite refreshing, actually. It was really good.
The Dutch and the Belgians have that. They're called, that little area in Luxembourg is called Benelux.
Oh, right.
The nickname, and they're all really professional in whatever field it is, medicine or whatever. So it's the people in the music and stage managers and the roadies and the techs. They're just all great at their job, so it really makes it fun for everyone. So that was a great, 5 shows over a week.
I don't know if it's made it over there, but do you know the show Atlanta? That it stars. It's
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover,
We love him. Yeah, we love him.
And so the third season, they're just have the 4th season now, but the 3rd season is them. They have the character. There's this who's a rapper called Paperboy from Atlanta, and he's the manager. And they spend the whole season in Europe. And a lot of it is like in Amsterdam, and it's a great, if you haven't seen it, especially as like music people, it's sort of looking at American black culture from a European point of view, and it's great, and it's hilarious, and it's weird as hell too. So highly recommend it.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, it's a streaming show here on a thing called Hulu, but the show overall is one of the best shows out there. It's really smart, really like
Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Series 3 or the whole series 3 you said is in Europe.
So the 3rd season's in Europe. So the 1st season kind of sets up Paperboy's this struggling rapper who's trying to go, and he kind of blows up, but it's just sort of struggling living in Atlanta. And then the 2nd season they kind of totally blow out the plot. And they make this Halloween one where it's kind of this character that's sort of Michael Jackson, and they just none of that. There's like no theme at all. It's just all over the place, but all fantastic and weird. And then the 3rd season, they get back to the 1st season about the career of this rapper. And now he's huge, and he's in Europe, and he's touring, and everybody's like throwing money at him, and they're trying to it's great. And now the 4th season's now happening. But
we'll check it out. I'm sure we got it on something overseas.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that show called Dave?
No.
Oh yeah, the rapper. It's like HBO. Yeah.
You got to go and check that out.
Definitely, I'll check that out.
That's funny, man. It's really fun. Same kind of thing. Struggling Jewish rapper.
Yeah.
In Hollywood, trying to make it big. It's fucking hilarious.
He's actually really talented too. That guy.
Yeah, he's actually a rapper. My brother, he's a real rapper. I was like, really? He goes, yeah, and he showed me all his stuff. He's amazing. He's really funny.
That's cool, but it's listening to all of your records, you could tell you guys have great record collections, and your parents had great record collections, because the things that the references you go back to are things that are definitely like, oh, my dad had Herb Alpert records, like, for example, or like, and you're even something like, the Climax Blues Band is doing the covers you do, but then you also like reference Fear. I love living in the city.
I was just about to ask about that. Yeah.
It's such a wide range.
That was a fun album for us because that was kind of a return to the original art form for FLC, because Frank was in there from the beginning. Him and I had a studio in London we were working at.
Lopez.
And we were in there for, long hours, but good hours, being really creative, coming out with so many different ideas and lots of influences in that song, which is the start of the album, I Love Living in the City. That was a huge thing, we love doing all the New York references, and that's a big band, always has been. So
it kicks off with the annoying car alarms that you guys
have. Oh, right. Yeah.
I thought that was
we didn't have to hear that the past few nights here yet. We've heard plenty of sirens, but we're staying in Bushwick this week.
Okay.
Nice.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm in Red Hook, Brooklyn, and there's a construction place that exactly at 6:25 every morning they're backing up that truck, and it's just that beep, beep, beep.
I'll tell you though, machine noise is irritating, but in England we haven't. Being from New York, living over in England so long now, foxes are like on another level because they sound like little children screaming and dying in the middle of the night. And when they all are getting it on, they're like mating calls or the most wretched witch scream that sound like children dying, and that's like every night all summer.
So this is in the city. You're hearing foxes, or there's foxes.
There's foxes shopping in Oxford Street. They don't care no more, man. They don't care. These are foxes. They're like smarter than rats.
Yeah.
They're cuter, but they're freaking vile.
But there was a whole thing about like suspending the hunt, right? Wasn't there a big like fox hunting? Like that was
It's getting more dangerous for the photographers who are trying to shoot them, when they're not supposed to be doing the fox hunting, or the protesters, and then a protester runs them over in the car, and that's like blasted on the news all day. It's like, but at the same time, I'm just talking selfishly for me. When I'm trying to go to bed, and it's 2 in the morning, I'm just fading off, and then I hear.
They're just getting it on, man.
The way you're describing the TV coverage is awful. I was hoping that it was a little more civil over there, but I guess not.
It depends what channel. The thing that's cool about the UK, kind of like, I guess, New York, the culture in the sense is like your news channel on your cable, you can get like 8 different perspectives. So it isn't just one narrative. So you get your CNNs and you can get your Foxes, but then you can get your your Indian news and your main British news and stuff. So you can kind of hopefully make a bit more sense of it all, or just be more confused. It depends.
Oh, that's great. So you guys are you're doing the U.S. tour. Then what are you? Is your 2023?
We're going to try and do some. We've got some tours being set up over Europe, and we're going to go over to Dubai. We've got try and get some stuff in Australia. We're looking at a few festivals, and then do the UK again. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe get out to the States in 2023 to play some festivals.
We really want to do that. There's a bunch of cities we haven't played that we need to play with FLC, and even states. We need to play in Texas, and regardless what people think politically about Texas, it's a great music state. we want to play there. We want to play New Orleans, and there's festivals now. When we were touring in the late '90s, there weren't many festivals in America apart from your Lollapalooza. There wasn't Coachella then, so we were always overseas doing all these great festivals in England and Europe and having the time of our lives. But now there's lots more festivals in America. We want to get on and play for people because they'll probably go, yeah, my parents used to listen to them. They're all right.
Yeah, but you guys work a crowd. That's what's great.
Right. It's like a part fun.
Yeah. You bring the party.
That's what I'm saying. We're not coming. We don't want you leaving like going to CVS to buy some razor blades. We want you to fucking come out and go to Dunkin' Donuts and get some tequila. You know what I mean?
I've seen a couple bands that made me want to go buy razor blades. Yeah.
As a band, when you're playing a festival, I mean, is it as much fun after the show or being? I mean, we're on the other end as an audience. It's fun, but for band members, for you guys, when you're playing festival, is it just as much fun for you guys? That like, wow, you're playing with those guys and you get to hang out later on, and you're seeing friends.
The fun for me is on stage. When I get off stage, I just want to go.
Yeah,
I want to go and chill in the hotel and watch Netflix. That's what I eat ice cream. That's me. But so it depends. If Rihanna's backstage, then I'll fucking hang out.
That's when Peter Grant comes out. Listen, I got to make sure you're getting paid. We should talk, Rihanna. I got to make sure the gross receipts are adding up.
We've been lucky to be in many situations where we've developed a program, again, like a formula for how we, approach doing a festival. What do we do once we arrive at the festival? All right, let's get our passes, find a dressing room, make sure we got our rider, we got everything set up for our day ahead of us. And after the concert is the easy part because then, we're done with the stage. So we're riding on a high. We get to like hang out with some people that we haven't seen in a while. And that's the thing. We've been doing it long enough. We've developed these friendships and it's like great. And that's like with you guys, it's like cool. And we hope you guys would come down to the show or eventually some show and we hang out. You build
build a relationship
web of life.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yep. So network,
You have road tips here, or like, are there is there things as you hit these cities that we haven't been in Philly in such a long time? I know.
Cheesesteaks, cheesesteaks. We got it all.
The thing with us is the tours really revolve around food, and that's not a joke. It's like when people say to me around the world, oh, what was it like here and here, and what was it like there, and I'll be like, yeah, well, San Francisco, it's all about getting a burrito. And they look at you like, is that all you've got to say about the place? And I'm like, yeah. If I'm in LA, I'll go In-N-Out Burger. Is that all you've got to say about the place? Yeah. If I'm in New York, I go to my pizza spot. Everything's done on food over wherever I am.
That's where I chime in, like the, asshole American. It's like, what else you want me to say about San Francisco? People that take shit on the street, Whatever. Have a good fucking time. What do you want me to say?
Hey, when you guys first mentioned the Limelight, I'm thinking, well, I seem to recall a good bagel place that was right there, right? There was you got outside of the Limelight and there's a
little deli right there,
yeah, bagel place that was open like all night, and it was like locks around the clock or something.
Yeah, there you go.
And then you mentioned Woe Hop, and I'm like, oh, I never walked out of there at 4 a.m.
We walked out there so many times at 4 a.m. and then at 7 a.m. had the shits, but it don't matter because it's about the man.
As the garbage trucks are rolling up, you're coming out of there all bleary-eyed at 5:30 in the morning
with another shirt. Bought another shirt. We have 8 Woe Hop shirts.
Oh, nice.
It was really. I know for myself. I know Frank too is an honorary New Yorker.
Yeah.
Even if it's from Leicester, but it's like just coming back to New York. There's always that feeling of like. It's just you're in an exciting place.
We're gonna find out. What's your pizza place? You said you had a pizza place.
Yeah, I got a place.
I don't know what the exact address is. That's the thing with Frank. He won't tell you.
He won't tell you. But
he can't have it
back with an envelope.
Yeah, it's one of my spots that doubles up as not just a pizza shop, so I can't really tell you.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, listen, let
me tell you, it's tiny. You can fit about 3 people in it, and it's right up near the theatre district. That's
okay. Got it.
All right.
Yeah. Now, Frank told me about it, me being from New York, Rowan. I even grew up in the suburbs for a while, so I know my New York pizza, I think, or what I expect is good. And like I walked in, it was the tiniest joint. There's like nothing there except a pizza oven, 2 Mexican guys making the pizza. And it's unbelievable.
It's good as shit, yeah.
It's a hidden little joint that like people that know. And they get these pizzas in and out quick. It's cool.
You remember like the original Ray's when Ray's was just fucking unbelievable? This place is like that.
No, it's great. Yeah.
You know, we wanted to go to Lucali's, but they don't open until 5 today. We were over on Montague Street because I used to live over near there in Brooklyn.
I'm about 3 blocks from Lucali's right now. That's where I am.
Right. And that's the thing. And we want to check these slices out or just get a pie. So, but who knows? You know, we know that
Lucali doesn't do slice. Lucali's a little bit like the soup man. It's like the whole pie. All they have is pies and calzone. That's all he does. So. Yeah,
but we've heard good things. So, but we also know Philly. We've got our cheesesteaks. We know we got our In-N-Out burger on the West Coast. We're gonna get some deep dish pizzas in Chicago. And
you gotta, if you love food, you gotta play New Orleans, man. That is the town.
On the list of places that really New Orleans, Miami, South America. We need to have those places.
Place in Minneapolis.
You want Minneapolis? Because we opened for Porno for Pyros at First Avenue in Minneapolis, and that's big because First Avenue is Prince's joint. So we got to get back to with Frank because he's the biggest Prince fan in the world. So
oh, nice.
All things Prince, yeah. Prince-aholic.
That's pretty awesome.
I heard a great story on public radio here about the guy. They had to call in a locksmith to open up the lock to get into his vault. And the guy describes what he had to do, how precise he had to be. Otherwise, it's one of those locks that blows and all the shit inside is destroyed. I mean, it was hundreds of hours of Prince's his tapes. They had to call and I got to find a link and I'll send it to you. That story, I was like driving and I was like, holy smokes, that is unbelievable. This guy, he said like he was nervous, like he was a 20-year professional.
I bet his hand was shaking and shit, you know.
But he was a professional. He couldn't be. He said he had to be like pinpoint accurate. And he went in there with a stethoscope, like the whole 9 yards. Man, when this guy describes that story, it is so fascinating because it's like,
yeah, man.
It's like he said it was like better than like, you know, going into a bank full of money or whatever. It was like Prince's tapes, you know, like all the stuff that was hidden in the vault.
To be honest, it's like the 2 big things we've got that are the backbone for Fun Lovin Criminals now, being Frank and myself, has got to be the mutual admiration for the Stallone family, which you're well aware we have. But also for the Prince, everything, all things Prince and the banyan tree that is Prince's life.
Yeah.
You know? And other than that, it's probably Bruce Lee. But I mean, that's our big thing. It's like, all right, we need to get our Bruce Lee thing if he's getting hit.
Oh wow, I love it. I love the fact it's a Jaguar.
It's a cheap guy. It's a Squire.
Yeah, it don't matter.
My knockabout, yeah.
That's amazing.
So that's a big thing. So Prince, Frank and I actually have a reggae band that actually Naeem is the guitar player in as well, our new guitar player in FLCC. Yeah. We've got this like wide range of bands we do. I don't know many bands that actually have many bands.
Well, Jack White, sorry.
Jack White is the one, but they're all sort of in the rock vein.
Yeah,
but he's the common thing, right? You guys are like, it's like reconfiguring you guys, right? All 3 of you are in that band too, right? So
yeah. So now, that is the kind of thing. Yeah, we're all the same, but that's all Prince covers. But that show is actually a really fun show.
What's the name of that band?
Radio Riddler.
Oh, nice.
So
Radio Riddler, and
you gotta look at
the album's called Purple Reggae on Spotify. Purple Reggae. It's all
you guys could do your own festival and be every act.
We've been asked to do that, but then we said, "What kind of money you got?" And then we don't hear from.
See, so Frank's like, we got to get paid 5 different times, 5 different bands.
Anytime someone inquires to work with us, and we say, "How much money you got?" After we say that phrase, they just don't seem to respond ever again.
Every it gets silent. It's just crickets. Yeah.
No, some are coming back slowly, like the Polish did, and that kind of got the Greeks to go, "Oh, the Polish booked them. Let's book them." And that was great. And now it's kind of, we got the U.S., so we're excited.
That's
excellent.
Great.
Yeah, that's really.
So maybe we need to get on a future show. We get Radio Riddler to come on.
If you put in YouTube and put Radio Riddler in, you will be.
Yep.
You absolutely.
I will. I don't know. It's the first time hearing it. This is great.
The record we did about 7-8 years ago, and we did the Purple Rain soundtrack in its entirety. So some of Prince's biggest songs of all time are on there.
I love the Warner Brothers logo too. Like,
I've got my brother to thank for that, Daryl Joseph Lewis Reed. He's the man. But yeah, the some of the guests we've got on. We've got Sinead O'Connor on the album.
Nice.
She said she'd never do another Prince record.
You have Suggs from Madness on there. Is that who?
From Madness, we got Citizen Cope.
Citizen Cope, I see. Yeah.
And Beverly Knight, who's one of the UK's best soul singers. Yeah, we got Deborah Bonham on there, who's John Bonham's sister from Led Zeppelin, who's an amazing blues singer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a fantastic. Oh, and Ali Campbell, lead singer from UB40, which is amazing.
That's amazing. Wow, that's like the guests on here. That's like, much respect to you guys.
It's really an incredible album. The funny thing is, it's when you go on YouTube and look, it's literally got millions of down. It's like a cult album. When we play it live,
yeah,
as you can imagine, if we've rolled up at festivals, no one really knows who Radio Riddler is. The minute we start, we're playing Prince songs and we're playing some of Prince's biggest songs. So all you've got is 20,000 people in the field singing it straight back to you because it's Prince, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and we drop Purple Rain in a reggae style.
Bro.
People lose their mind, you know what I mean? Amazing. So it would be good to... It's funny though, because it was 7 years to this day, that we were here playing with Radio Riddler at Webster Hall in New York. 7 years today.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it's crazy.
You mean 2 days ago? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, my friend.
All that time shift traveling.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Do you guys are you familiar with the Easy Star? That was maybe there's that Dub Side of the Moon record. That's spectacular.
And it's amazing. And there's been so many over the decades, so many great reggae compilation covers that for vinyl fanatics, especially in the reggae world, who dig for all these compilations.
Those old Trojan compilations. Those are insane. Those are
so many. There's so many that are great. The green sleeve stuff. It's just there's such a wealth of great music. We're always hearing new Jamaican and reggae music, and we love it. And going to these raves they have, these dub raves, and in England is just an amazing thing how they wet. You go in a gymnasium or a community center and they wet the floors.
What?
So when the music's playing, the humidity builds up and makes the sound.
Oh, wow.
Like these crazy Jamaican tricks that really are English tricks that they learn. Because it's right. And people think they're very technical about things. So like people that know different skills, they really know those skills. So it's a thing that's pretty cool about England.
Wow.
Like our crew, some of our crew members, they're not touring with bands all the time. They pick a few bands they want to go out with, and they also can fix anything that has to do with your house. I ain't messing with my boiler and pipes or nothing like that. I just move.
That's awesome. That's who you want to be stuck on the road with for sure.
And that's what we got. This is a family tour we're doing because we got my older brothers doing the driving and his brother's out with us. So
my brother's he's proper gangster, so it's kind of nice being out with my brother because you're pretty safe.
He's got your back.
No, I was going to say. So how big's the crew? It sounds like there's 10 of you out there. Is that big?
About 6 of us, 7 of us, 6. I think 6.
There's 7. There's a 7th now. No, there's 6.
Is there 6? There's 6. Well, it depends. There could be 6. There could be 8 of us. No, there's 6. Depends if we bring up
Taco Tuesday. You don't have to wait till Wednesday to come back at you. So I'm excited for that. It slows you down though when you get into the refractory period of eating tacos.
Especially on this Friday that we're talking about Taco Tuesday.
The Friday.
Well, we've had tacos all week. That's the easiest way to explain how good the tacos are.
Tacos is one of the best touring foods you can have.
They call them different things in England. They go tacos, and they call it Beretto, like a Beretta, a gun. Let me get a steak Beretta.
But we've really upped our game here in the States with tacos because now we got authentic street tacos, as opposed to the Tex-Mex style.
There's all the different genres of it now and the sub-genres. But who came up with the cups? My mom last time I was visiting my mom over the summer, she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make tacos, and I got these new kind of taco shells." And I said, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, I see what you're saying. Bowl.
It's half. The top half is it basically looks like some sex toy that you put your cock in, but it's like a little sack. That's it, but you can't heat it up properly, so half of it's always kind of moist, doughy.
Oh, sure, taco sacks. Taco sacks. Give me the sex.
It's like a testicle on the top.
So you're saying it's like a taco supporter, like a cup.
It's a taco jock strap.
You stuff it in there and you turn it, but it would look kind of like a squid.
Yeah, you stuff the meat in there. It's a sack where you stuff the meat in there.
It was
and then you.
When I was in Poland, my girlfriend's from Poland, and the thing that marveled, they sell hot dogs where it's almost like the hot dog goes through the bun. It's like right.
Yeah.
It's like,
we call it a cock dog. Yeah, it's
the problem with the cock dog.
The cock dog on the stick. When Annie Sidlow brought them as in Australia.
We always love the cock dogs that they have. But in Sweden, for some reason, this is true, they put shrimp salad on the cock dog. And it ain't even like a corn dog. You know, it don't even have the satisfaction of that kind of cornbready sponge that it's over the hot dog in the States.
This is turned into a fucking food
show. That's the thing, though. Well, if you're going to go...
We love it too, yeah.
If you're a cockafella... Go get a cock dog in Sweden with some shrimp salad. Fried onions, Frenches.
Put some sauerkraut.
Frenches are good.
Right, yeah, that's a good. That's always been the good. You know, you get that the string beans with the cream of mushroom soup with the French. There you go.
It doesn't have to be just for Thanksgiving.
The string bean casserole. Yeah. You know, now you're back in New York. Are you getting a dirty water dog? I mean, with I love one out of that.
We learned from scratch. I mean, I haven't been back in Brooklyn for 6 years. The first deli we went in, which conveniently was next to the two kids selling herbs, smoking herb. They were so high. They're the worst drug dealers I've ever seen because you could have just put your hand in the bag and walked off. They were so high, so glass-eyed. But then we went in that deli and the dudes look up at us like we're insane. And then one thing leads to the other. We get some cereal.
Bought some cereals, man. Last night, because I knew we'd wake up and we'd be starving, so we want some cereal.
You were planning ahead. He's planning ahead.
Planning ahead, and we got the cereals, we got the nuts, and it's going to be nice, right?
Yeah.
He opens it this morning, and there's all creatures in it.
There's like all living things, but they somehow got in the bag.
Well, it may be moths. Pantry moths.
Entry moths that come in through thin air. They have the power to travel.
I don't know.
No, I thought aren't they just the prize that comes in the cereal?
They were flying around and they were looking at us, and it was like sealed, but then it was like 2 months out of date or a year out of date.
No, a month out of date.
So we learned, don't go to that shitty deli.
Yeah.
But what do we have to do with the rest of the food? Anyway, we don't have to talk about food anymore.
What?
What?
We could get back to talking music and what a great EP you got out.
That's cool, man. Thank you. We appreciate it because it's been a while since we put out our own music. So.
Well, I want to, thank you guys for joining us. So glad. Are we your first stop in the States? Or were we your
Yeah, definitely. We were very honored that we could get here and do this Zoom call with you guys and get this out on Friday. And we look forward to this tour we're doing and people that maybe get wind of this interview because we're definitely looking forward to promoting it and using you guys as much as we can to kind of advance the knowledge.
So we're gonna go clean here. Give us a Fun Lovin Criminals are here on Radio Free Brooklyn.
You say it like my daughter does. to this day, my daughter, she's like, I was like, "What's your dad's band called?" She goes, "Fun Lovin Criminals." I go, "What's the word criminals?" No,
you want an ident?
Yeah, give me an ID. Give us an ID for Radio Free Brooklyn.
Radio Free Brooklyn.
You do the Radio Free Brooklyn. Yo, it's Fun Lovin Criminals here.
Yes, and you are listening to Radio Free Brooklyn.
Thank you for the dub mix.
We do our own delays. We have to.
Excellent.
How old is your daughter?
She's almost 12.
My daughter is 12 and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
So does she listen to your music?
No.
Your daughter?
She listens to Dua Lipa, and then she'll listen to over the years I think all the stuff I've gotten her into was probably The Police, Steely Dan, Prince, and Bob Marley.
Oh, that's a pretty good thing.
Maybe Hall & Oates.
Yeah.
But she does love Steve Miller. She'll always put on Steve Miller. But I don't think she understands, like, she loves Abracadabra. So she's got a ways.
There you go. Yeah, she got a ways to go. Well, I told my daughter we were interviewing this awesome band that, with records out and played all over. And she said, make sure you tell them about me. So my daughter to your daughter.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because, well, that's the thing. We do believe the kids are our future, and we're all fucked in that case. But that's fine.
I was actually, you mentioned Steve Miller. Actually, today I was just talking to a guy by the name of Eddie Curtis. And Eddie Curtis wrote a song for the Coasters with Ahmet Ertegun called Lovey Dovey. And Lovey Dovey all the time from the Joker. From Steve, he has a writing credit on the Joker because Steve Miller stole so much of the song for the Joker. So
yeah, that's cool.
That's smart. So that was a wise old man who doesn't have a computer. But
no, that's fine. That's fun. But yeah, it's good that our kids like music and not necessarily like our music.
My daughter don't listen to. She's 17. She'll be 18 in January. We're only playing in my hometown 3 weeks ago. And I was like, you want to come down and watch your dad?
What?
I'm okay.
What? Oh, man. Oh, Frank.
Yeah, don't mind it. It's work.
She listened to.
It's right. It's right. That's my dad.
She knows all. She has some cool taste, Prince. She likes the Arctic Monkeys. She likes Rage Against the Machine. She likes hip hop and grime and all that kind of stuff. She got her own things. I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? She's been to see us before. But she's like, it's work, to them. It's
right. It's your dad's work.
Job, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They know we're all going to be frantic and on edge. So they're like, we don't really want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
It's not until it pays off when they're a little bit older and it's just like, wait, your dad? Yeah, I can get you guys into the, we can all go to the show.
We've done that. Yeah, we've done, they've milked us.
Don't get me wrong with that. She wanted to go and see Rage and Arctic Monkeys and Stormzy and all these people. So she said, Dad, can you get me on the guest list for this festival? It's like, yeah, I get her in and get her backstage and all that. Then I'm cool. You know what I mean?
Then it's
cool
okay.
You want to come and see my band, Fun Lovin Criminals? Nah, Dad, I'm all right. It's all right.
It never changes. Unbelievable.
That's so awesome. So we're definitely looking forward to seeing the show and
come on down early. You can have a tequila if they allow us that elsewhere.
We gotta sneak it in.
People.
We'll bring some properly dated cereal for you.
No, thank you.
we went out and got it today, and as a matter of fact, then I saw the Dunkin' Donuts. I said we need to get a dozen of those because time to make the donuts ain't 2 years ago when they made the cereal.
Right.
But that.
What about you're out in Brooklyn? You got a White Castle out there off of Metropolitan Avenue or something, right?
They were in a car ride. All of us with the Wendy's, White Castle,
Popeyes.
I went to Popeyes today. I did my little tour with food, but I wouldn't get like big amounts. I get little things. But
that's the way to play it. Yeah. See, now this is again goes back to your your experience, your middle-aged guy experience of like. Don't overload on. Don't go in and eat all those dumplings down in Wohop. You'll be finished. Well, just little bites.
Late night food, but during the day we go for it, bro. And don't you stop me or get in my way because I'll go through you. My chow. In New York, especially, I just ate a pizza. That was the starter. Now I want to go burgers, sandwiches, whatever.
Between New York and Philly, you should stop for a New Jersey, Texas wiener. Like you want to get like Rutt's Huts and Clifton, or you like
Is that a chain or just a one-off?
No, they're all one-off.
And you want to get a
nut dog? What did you say it was?
The Texas wiener, and it's called Rutt's Huts. And what they do is they deep fry the hot dogs and they put like chili on, right? But it's the chili sauce is just they're fantastic. But they're all over New Jersey, but there's actually a friend of mine does it. Yeah, Rutt's Hut. It's Clifton, right? Is that where
it's in Clifton? But I'll tell you from experience. Rutt's Hut won't put chili on the dog. You have to buy the chili separate, and it's another one of these places, guys. If you go in there, it's like the soup Nazi. They're all about like, we don't do that. We don't, here's the menu. You order the dog. But there's dozens of other hot dog joints in New Jersey that do the fried hot dog with chili and onions on it.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, that looks like a pain in your ass eventually, but a good one. We love Pinks out in LA. We were talking about that today.
Sure.
We left Pinks until about 47 minutes after we left Pinks, but it's a joy.
I lived in LA for a while. The Texas Wiener, which ironically called the Texas Wiener, you really only get them in New Jersey.
Yeah, they don't exist in Texas.
And then when you're in Michigan, you get the Conies, which are But
no, we're I think we're gonna go, do all those things Frank wants to do. Shoot guns in Ohio.
Nice.
Go to the Rittenhouse Academy and go shoot.
Yeah, learn how to be a scholarly shot at age 17. Yeah,
probably. Oh, no.
I'm in talks with
Frank Stallone.
Stallone to take us to his gun club in LA. So I'm hoping that will happen.
Is the Stallone love reciprocated back to you guys as well, as much as you love them?
I get a lot of likes from. I do. I could show you.
Oh, your likes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some likes.
I get likes off Frank. I told him we're coming into town, and I told him, let's go shooting. We'll pay for it. We'll take you out for lunch, hang out, and go.
Yeah.
Great guitar player, and there's a vintage guitar shop that he always goes to in California called Norm's Vintage Guitar Shop, and our boy Naeem, he wants me to take him to that shop.
Yeah.
So I'll send Frank a message and see if he wants to meet us at the shop and have a little jam with us. But he's liked a bunch of stuff. But I met Sylvester Stallone in London.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So, and we've also been to his to dinner with him.
An evening we went to dinner with him and 750 other people.
But when you're in Philly, you can go to the statue. At the art.
Right.
We're doing it.
We'll take everybody. I did it once, but I did it after.
You've done it 7 times. Every time you're in Philly, you want to.
We got a band, Uncle Frank, and we were playing a little show in Philadelphia. And I said, I've got to run up the steps. But by the time we got into the town, we were late for the sound check. So our tour manager went, look, I'll drive you around there at the end of the night. And I was like, all right, cool. And I'll film you running up the steps. Great. Well, we didn't get done in this club that we were playing to until about 2 a.m, and I was absolutely smashed. I was wasted.
They call it wankered.
Yeah, I was wankered. And I get to the bottom of the steps and they pull the tour bus up, and he's like, okay, there you go. And as you see in the Rocky films, Sly runs up that shit like it's nothing, I'm a big dude. I was like, I got up the first few steps, and I was about ready to throw up, so I was drunk out of my mind. So I'm running up these steps really slowly, right? And I get to the top, and I do the Rocky thing. And when my brother played it back the next morning, it looked like I was going like 1 mile an hour.
Yeah, right.
And I was like, I can't post that on my socials. I look like a bumbling fool. He went, don't worry, bro. I'll speed it up in post-production.
Post-production,
See the video. I'm like running up there like this. I was wasted, man. But we've got to go and do that again. We
will be following the Instagram account.
That's right.
Man, do it.
I was going to say, I could fix that for you, because actually that's what I do for my day job. Is I'm a post-production composite artist, compositor. An editor. So but
Tony works for MLB, and you don't realize, all of those games are faked, right? Tony edits them all together. There's those teams aren't even in the same town, and it's pretty amazing. Like, no one throws a pitch more than 60 miles an hour. They just hop it up to look like they're throwing.
That's you.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I love it.
That's talent.
It's a lot of computing power.
Yeah, I bet.
We're going to let you go, because now...
Yeah, thank you guys. Right. Thank you guys.
Get ready.
Thank you guys so much.
Friday, that'll be awesome, man. It'll be great.
On Friday, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you actually come into the
tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
Later tonight. Yeah.
Come check out Fun Lovin Criminals tonight elsewhere in Brooklyn. It's at East Williamsburg. Take the L out there to Jefferson Stop. Tomorrow they'll be in D.C. at City Winery. On Monday they'll be in Philly, probably with the city celebrating a World Series championship. But check them out if you're down in Philly. Also, get a hold of their new EP, the Roosevelt Sessions. It is good stuff. You will not be disappointed.
Respect.
Right. You're listening to The Beatdown. We're available on Apple, Google, CastBox, and Stitcher. Subscribe to us and know when a new episode is available. If you have something to say or suggest a topic for the show, or you want some food place advice, recommendations for these guys, hit us up on email, the Beatdown Music Podcast at gmail.com. And as always, like us on Facebook and look for these guys when they're in your town. They are awesome. They sound great and they're great dudes, man. Thank you so much for being on our show.
That's our pleasure. Thank you guys. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Means a lot. Thank you.